Alright, so I've just seen I Want What I Want. The film is from 1972, and it stars Anne Heywood as a transgender woman named Wendy Ross. The movie is directed by John Dexter. It's a British movie, or something like that, and my overall opinion is that it's a pretty good movie, actually. Sure, it's quite dated now, but it's actually quite trans-friendly for being as old as it is. Well, anyways, the plot is that what's his name now? I'm just going to check. Roy Ross is a businessman or some sort of that, and he has very big issues with his gender identity. And this awakens really when he goes to babysit his sister's child, and Roy discovers a lot of clothing and such, and the feminine side really awakens in Roy, and sometime later Roy dresses up as a woman, quite exaggerated actually. Roy looks more like a drag queen than an ordinary woman, and Roy's father discovers Roy dressed as a woman, and takes a great issue with that, but Roy delivers a very good line about there not being anything wrong with him or her, but that she is a woman, and dressing as such is just natural, really natural. Eventually Roy moves away from home and starts living as a woman named Wendy. She moves to a boarding house, and there she starts growing out her hair and learning about makeup and such, and really starts to live as the woman she is. She dresses kind of retro. The movie was made in the 1970s, but Wendy dresses like a 1950s housewife. And that can be quite distracting, because she does not look like any of the other women in the movie. She looks quite stereotypical for a chosen gender role. And anyways, Wendy starts living as a woman, and she meets a few people. The people that she's boarding with, and such. And she passes. I mean, she's played by a cis woman, so of course she's going to pass, but things go quite well for her, and she talks with her sister and presents herself as she is, and she develops a romance, sort of, with a man, but she has very big issues with being a heterosexual woman. I believe this is due to her being brought up as a boy and being told that she should be a man and everything. And she goes to see a doctor about having sexual reassignment surgery and everything, and he's quite supportive, actually. He tells her that she'll never be 100% biological female, which is true. Trans women can't be biological females unless they have the correct chromosomes, and very few transgender women are XX women. But she accepts that, and things go very well actually, but then she has some sort of conflict in the end with her love interest, where he discovers her being a woman. And he attacks her and kicks her in her genitals, and Wendy gets into a rage and mutilates her own genitals. The film then cuts to a year later, where she appears to have had breast augmentation, because she touches her chest, like this. And she has a passport now issued in the name of Wendy Ross, despite the doctor saying that even if she had surgery, she would still be a man legally. But this appears not to be the case, and then the movie just ends with her saying that she's glad to be a woman. So, what to take away from this movie is that it's quite dated, really. Some of it is clumsily filmed and directed. I mean, it would not be a good movie nowadays. It's quite stale in most parts. It lingers, but Anne Hathaway, I believe her name was. I'm sorry if I'm messing this up, but no, Anne Heywood. Sorry. But Anne Heywood delivers a very strong performance as Roy/Wendy. And how it's not something wrong with her mind, but rather something wrong with her body, with being transsexual and transgender. So it's actually quite a good movie that was for its time. I don't know that many other movies that were made in the 1970s and earlier that portray transsexual women or transsexual people overall in a positive light. There is Mara Breckenridge, which is a really bad movie, which it just sucks. And other movies in the 1970s about transgender people. I believe there was a documentary about Renee Richards, the female tennis player that was transsexual, and Sleepaway Camp, I believe, was made in the 70s, but that's a slasher horror that was very budget, and it doesn't delve into transgender subjects. So all in all, I Want What I Want from 1972 is recommended. But you have to have some viewer discretion, because it can be quite feministic at times. And it is quite boring. It's not a good movie, or, a movie that will keep you interested, because it just drags on, and a fake out ending where it's not really necessary. And so overall I'm going to give I Want What I Want 6 out of 10. And that concludes the first Gender Bender review. I think that in the future I will probably include some movie clips from other movies that I review if I continue this series. But I'm sorry for my throat as well. I've spoken in a high pitch quite much today, so my voice is quite strained, but yeah, anyways, I'm going to say bye here, and yeah, bye bye.